Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our discussion in Mathematics 9, first quarter, all about quadratic equations. And now we are into our third module entitled Solving Equations Transformable to Quadratic Equation. So for this module, we have two objectives. First objective is to transform equations into quadratic equation. Second is to solve these transformed equations using any method in solving for the roots of the quadratic equation. So to start up, our lesson 1 entitled Solving Complete and Incomplete Quadratic Equations. So what's in? Our task is to connect the items from set A with those items in set B and explain why. So in set A, we have the following items. The first equation is x squared plus 8x minus 20 equals 0. Second equation, 3x squared minus 45 equals 0. And third equation is 2x squared plus 8x equals 0. Well, these items or expressions or equations are found in set B. So we will connect them. So how are we going to connect the items from set A to set B? So we have there. The first equation in set A is connected to set B. Sa katulong nga equation, ang iyang format kay ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, wherein the trinomial is complete. It has 3 terms. How about the second item or the second equation in set A? 3x squared minus 45 equal to 0. So it is connected with the first item in set B, wherein the equation is ax squared plus c equal to 0, given the first term and the third term of the quadratic equation. And lastly, obviously, 2x squared plus 8x equal to 0 is connected to ax squared plus bx equal to 0, wherein the equation is composed of the first term ax squared and the second term bx. So what have we observed with the three equations above? Do you have anything to say about these three equations given? Okay, to proceed, in Module 1, you have learned how to solve for the roots of the quadratic equations using various methods. So a while ago, those are examples of quadratic equations, either complete or incomplete. Also in Module 1, we were taught how to solve these quadratic equations, either complete or incomplete, with various methods. So the first method we have learned is using square root property, wherein this property can only be used only for incomplete quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus c equal to 0, given first term ax squared and the third term c. So we have their given equation and its solution. 3x squared minus 45 equal to 0. So to further solve it, you transfer a negative 45 to the right side, it becomes positive 45. Then, before we can make use of the square root property, we need to eliminate first the numerical coefficient 3 beside x squared. So you divide 3 both sides, on the left, on the right. So 3x squared divided by 3 is equal to 45 divided by 3. So cancel ang 3. Up and down on the left side of the equation, what remains on the left side is x squared is equal to 15. Ngano 15? Kaya 45 divided by 3 is 15. Then, diha pa nato i-apply ang square root property. So, putting square root or radical symbol on both sides, left side and right side. So, nahitabo, square root of x squared is equal to the square root of 15. So, para mahimo siyang variable x lang, ang square root has an imaginary index which is 2, which is ang pinakagamay nga index basta radicals. So, ang square root mo ay nakapakancel sa exponent sa variable x sa x square. So, namuna mugawas na siya nga x na lang is equal to positive negative square root of 15. Nganong naagya po siya ang 15 sulod sa radical symbol? Simply because based on the previous discussion, we've known that 15 is not a perfect square. Kaya pinakadoon nga perfect square is 16. So therefore, 15, the square root of 15 is considered irrational number. Second example, using the property of quotient rule. Quotient rule can only be used for incomplete quadratic equation given the first term ax squared and the second term bx. So we have here the second example, 2x squared plus 8x equal to 0. Then ang 8x, positive 8x, i-transfer to the right side of the equation, it becomes negative 8x. Next, 2x squared is equal to negative 8x. Before canceling, so di man pwede magamit ng square property, but instead, we'll make use of the quotient rule. Rule on exponent. So dividing exponent is subtracting exponents. That's why 2x squared, we divided it by 2x on the left side and also 2x on the right side. Kaya ang 2 ug 2 makancel. Then x squared over x, sa law of exponent, dividing exponent is subtracting exponent. So therefore, ang exponent 2 sa ibabaw, numerator, can be subtracted by the exponent on the denominator, which is x, imaginary 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Munang x na lang siya. Equals. On the right side, makancel ang duha ka x up and down. But that is understood nga 1 minus 1 is 0. Or in other words, cancellation. So nabilin ang pag-divide na lang sa negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4. That is using quotient rule. How about other method? This one, factoring method. Factoring method can only be used for trinomials in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So example equation is x squared plus 8x minus 20 equal to 0. So factoring method, mubalik ta sa concept on sum and product, wherein 8x or 8 mismo is ang sum, while negative 20 is the product. So to get the factors of negative 20, we have different factors, no? 4 times 5 is 20. 10 times 2 is 20. 20 times 1 is 20. Among the three factors, asa may pwede magamit? Is it 4 times 5, 10 times 1, or 10 times 2, or 20 times 1? So we use 10 times 2 to get the sum 8x, positive 8. So 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. So di sa pwede nga negative 10, x minus 10 na x plus 2. Dili pwede kay. Though negative 10 times positive 2 is negative 20, pero ang negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. Dili siya positive 8, which is nasa equation. So dapat x plus 10 times x minus 2 equal to 0. To get positive 8x, negative 20 po at the same time ang iyang product. So to go further, the two binomials is equal to 0. According to zero product property, each binomial is equal to 0. Therefore, x plus 10 equal to 0 and x minus 2 equal to 0. So to go further, to get the first value of x or the first root, x is equal to negative 10. So we simply transfer positive 10 to the right side, it becomes negative 10. As well as the second binomial, x minus 2 equal to 0 and negative 2, and transfer to the right side becomes positive 2. Therefore, the roots are negative 10 and positive 2. How about if the given equations are in this form? First, quantity x times quantity x is equal to 36. Then x times binomial x minus 2 is equal to 4. The third equation is quantity x plus 8 times quantity x minus 5, or binomial x plus 8 times binomial x minus 5 equal to 0. So what shall we do with this kind of equations? These equations are in factored form, which can be categorized as equations transformable to quadratic equation, and its roots can be solved using any of the methods which I have mentioned earlier, like factoring method, pwede po siya extracting square root, or quotient rule. So how are we going to solve equations that are transformable to quadratic equations? So here are the steps to remember. First, transform or rewrite the given equation into standard form of the quadratic equation, which are in symbols: trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, or possibly an incomplete quadratic equation given in the form of ax squared plus bx equal to 0, or ax squared plus c equal to 0. Second step, choose a method that could be used to solve for the roots of the rewritten quadratic equation. And lastly, reduce your answer to lowest term. So let us try for a few examples. First example, number 1. Quantity x times quantity x is equal to 9. So how are we going to solve this one? So the process will be x times x is x squared. Sakto no? Multiplying variables is adding exponent. Manang x squared is equal to 9. Then, since this is incomplete quadratic equation, we can make use of squared property. Manang square root of x squared is equal to square root of 9. Next, kibawta nga ang square root na symbol represents 1/2 as an exponent. So, if there is a second exponent nga 1/2, nya tapad niya ang kaduhang exponent nga 2 sa base x, that would be 2 times 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1. So therefore, the exponent of x will become 1. Or simply, nani pagkasuwat. Ang index nga 2 nasa gawas, square root nga symbol, then x squared is equal to square root of 3 squared. Kaya ang 9 can be expressed as 3 squared. Para makita nato kung giun sa pag-cancel ang index nga 2 nga naa sa gawas sa radical symbol o ang exponent nga 2 sa base x o base 3. So, makancel na sa ang index o exponent. So, magawas ang x equals, then positive negative 3. Kikibawang ta nga ang 9 is a perfect square. The root is 3. Second example. X times binomial x plus 3 equals 4. So, monomial x times binomial x. Ganun times could because parentheses represents the operation multiplication. So, i-distribute ang x sa gawas padung sa binomial. So, x times x and x times 3. Distributive property of multiplication over addition. So, x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x equals 4. Then, we will transfer positive 4 from the right side of the equation to the left side para makakompleto ang trinomial. So, that will be x squared plus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. So, from that equation, complete man nino? So, we will make use of factoring method. So, we will solve for the binomial factors, then the roots. So, the sum is 3. The product is negative 4. So, what are the factors of 4? 2 times 2, 4 times 1. Duha ra ka factors. So, dili ka pwede mo gamit sa 2 times 2. Okay. Though 2 times 2 is 4, pero dili man pwede ma-add ang 2 og negative 2. Kaya remember, negative 4 man na. So, dapat ang duha ka integers or duha ka factors, duha ka numbers should contain opposite sign. Negative 4 na. So, naay positive 2, naay negative 2. Kaya kung mahitabuan na, 2 minus 2, 0 nga. 3 man anong sum. So, that's why we will make use of 4 and negative 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 4 minus 1 is positive 3. Kuha. Sum and product. mo ng binomial x plus 4 o binomial x minus 1. Ang factors, then equal to 0. Then according to zero product property, x plus 4 equal to 0 and x minus 1 equal to 0. So to find the two roots, therefore x is equal to negative 4. Okay, balhin sa 4 to the right side, mahimo negative. And also x minus 1 equal to 0 o negative 1. May balhin, may mo positive 1. Is it clear? Third example. Binomial x plus 8 times binomial x minus 3 equal to 12. So first is since there are two binomials, we'll make use of FOIL method. First term, outer, inner, and last term times last term. So sa may mga first term, x times x is x squared. Sunod, outer. Ang x sa first binomial i-times sa ikaduhang binomial, iyang pinakakilid ang negative 3. So x times negative 3 is negative 3x. Then ang inner ang nasa tunga-tunga ang positive 8 ug ang positive x. So 8 times x is positive 8x. Munang yellow nga plus 8x. Then last term ang 8 ug negative 3. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. Then copy equals 12. So, have you noticed nga gi-yellow na ko ang negative 3x o 8x? Therefore, kana siyang duha ka expression ato na i-combine. So, that will become 5x. Okay, negative 3x plus 8x is positive 5x. So, x squared plus 5x minus 24. Then, gitransfer na ko ang positive 12 from the right side to the left side na himo siyang minus 12 mo nang gi-yellow na ko para ma-notice gyud nga na change ang iyang operation or na change ang iyang sign. Then equals 0. Nothing was left on the right side of the equation. Kaya ang 12 gibalhin naman siya sa left side, so ang nabilin 0. So sa kaning equation ang i-combine ani ang mga constant, ang negative 24 o negative 12. Since both of them are negative, double negative, no? So, we will add the two numbers, then copy the same sign. So, ang pag-rewrite sa equation will become x squared plus 5x minus 36. Ngano negative 36 or minus 36? Kaya tungod parehas lang negative. Negative 24 or negative 12. So, that is our revised or rewritten equation. So, from that point, mangita ta og method unsaon siya pag-solve sa roots sa quadratic equation given the equation x squared plus 5x minus 36 equal to 0. So by using factoring method, we can solve. Again, the sum is 5x, the product is 36. So what are the factors of the product 36? Negative 36. Pwede negative 6 times positive 6. Pwede po 12 and 3. Regardless of sign na kayo, ibaw mo ta nga negative 36. Ang duha ka factors ana ay usa na nga number nga mag-contain sa negative nga sign na usa positive nga sign. So, what are the factors of 36? 6 times 6. 12 times 3. And 9 times 4. So, dili pwede 6 times 6. Kaya dili man makuha ang 5. 9 times 4, pwede yun. 12 times 3, dili pwede kay 12 plus di man pwede mahimo nga 12 plus 3, no? 12 minus 3 gid siya. 12 minus 3 is 9. So dili kay 5 man yung tunga ang term. So mo nang sa solution gigamit ang 9 and negative 4 kay ngano 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. Then 9 minus 4 is equal to 5, which is the middle term 5x. So to continue, according to zero product property, x plus 9 equal to 0 and x minus 4 equal to 0. Buwag ang duha binomial. So therefore, the first value of x is equal to negative 9. And the second value of x, positive 4. Kaya remember, ang iyong mga operation, inigbalhin to the right side of the equation, mo change ang sign. Mo change ang operation. Munang x equals to negative 9 and x equals positive 4. Other than factoring method, you can also use completing the square or quadratic formula method on what we have learned sa module 1. Kung asa mo komportable, mas maayo ra gina. Okay ra jud kay sa nga tanan. Okay? So, for the activity, what's more on page 6? Activity 4.1 or 3.1 is siya kay third module man yun, no? Activity 3.1, transform and find the roots of each equations. Write your complete solution, not on your activity notebook, but on a piece of paper. One whole sheet of paper. So these are the equations 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you will only answer kanang number 1, number 3, and number 5. Okay? Is it clear? So tulura ang siran ha, dili ang tanan ba? Ayaw pagmugna. Okay, to proceed with our second lesson. Lesson number 2, solving equations involving square of binomials. So, remember ha, nibalik kita sa grade 8 first quarter nga lesson katong special product. So, unsay na inumduman ninyo sa square of binomials? We will have a short recap of squaring a binomial. Yung sa pag-square ang binomial. So, unsay iyang result? So, the square of the binomial x plus y is equal to, since exponent is 2 man, so napasabot, it tells how many times the base, which is the binomial x plus y, kapilaong siya multiply sa kaugalingon. And since the exponent is 2, therefore, gimultiply ang x plus y sa iyang kaugalingon. Munang, after writing equal nga symbol, naiduha ka binomial nga x plus y o x plus y. Then before is what ang equals. If we multiply two binomials, we make use of the FOIL method. So, x times x is x squared. X times y, ang outer, xy. Then ang inner, y times x, arrange gapon, plus xy. Then y times y, plus y squared. So, muna siya ang result. Therefore, the square of the sum of a binomial x plus y is equal to the square of x plus twice xy plus y squared. Muna yung pattern. How about kung difference? The square of the difference of a binomial. So the square of the difference, duha ka x minus y equals x times x, x squared. X times negative y, negative xy. Negative y times x, negative xy gihapon. Negative y times negative y, positive y squared. Then, ang duha man kabok negative xy, so double negative no? So, ma-understood na siya nga x squared minus 1xy minus 1xy plus y squared. So, duha ka negative 1xy. That will become negative 2xy. So, when we square a difference of a binomial x minus y, the result is x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Anong minus 2xy? Kay double negative ang naa sa taas. Negative xy, negative xy. Okay? So, short recall. Using the concept on square of binomials, find the product of each item below. The square of x plus 3 and the square of x minus 2. So, what is the result? Sa primero, the square of x plus 3. So, napasabot na duha ka x plus 3. X plus 3 times x plus 3. So, the result will be x times x, x squared. X times 3, 3x. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 3, 9. Na, i-combine ang middle term nga duha ka 3x. That will become x squared plus 6x plus 9. How about the square of the difference of a binomial? Duha ka x minus 2. So, x minus 2 times x minus 2 will become x times x, x squared. X times negative 2, negative 2x. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. So, sunod, i-combine ang duha ka negative 2x, may himong negative 4x. So, x squared minus 4x plus 4. So, how important is the concept on the squaring of binomial for our second lesson? The process in finding the product of the square of binomials is very helpful in solving for the roots of some forms of quadratic equations written in this form. This one. O, diba? 1, 2, 3, and 4 na siya ha. Ang kanang 4 ug 5, That ang 4 kay 3. Ang number 5 kay 4. Sorry, sayop lang ang numbering. So the first example, the square of x plus 1 equal to 2. The second example, the square of x minus 2 equal to 8. The third example, the square of x plus 3 plus the square of x plus 4 equal to 10. And the last example, the square of x minus 5 plus the square of x plus 6 equal to 20. So, kanina siyang mga examples sa ibabaw, mura mga examples sa mga equations nga pwede daw ma-transform into quadratic. So, let us try some few examples nga nag-show sa inani nga example nga nasa ibabaw. So, example number 1, the square of x plus 2 equal to 9. So, since the exponent is 2 man, the square of x plus 2, so duha ka x plus 2. X plus 2, x plus 2 equal to 9. Then, next, proceed with FOIL method. X times x is x squared. X times 2, 2x. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 2, 4. Bring down equals 9. Next, ato combine ang duha ka 2x. So, mahitabo, copy x squared plus 4x. Kay 2x plus 2x is 4x. Then, copy plus 4. Then, ang 9 nga naa sa right side sa equation, inigbalhin sa left side, mahimong minus 9 equal to 0. Then, combine ang 4 minus 9. Okay, duha constant man. So, rewrite x squared, rewrite plus 4x. Then, positive 4 minus 9 is negative 5 equal to 0. Next, the trinomial is x squared plus 4x minus 5 equal to 0. We will make use of factoring method. So, by using factoring, we get the factors of 5, wala in factor, kundi 5 times 1 agad siya. Muna ang atong binomial, x plus 5, x minus 1. Kaya negative 5 man na, so na ay plus, na ay minus. So, di sa mahitabo nga x minus 5, x plus 1. Kaya dili man na makuha ang positive 4x. Makuha na siya kung ang 5 positive, ang 1 negative. Why? 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Ano nasa ibabaw? Pero 5 minus 1 is positive 4. Ano nasa ibabaw sad? Positive 4x o negative 5. Again, dili pwede mahimong negative ang 5, niya positive 1. So to proceed, according to zero product property, that x plus 5 is equal to 0 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, the first value of x is equal to negative 5. Kaya yung plus 5, inigbalhin sa right side, may negative 5. Then, ang minus 1 sa binomial, x minus 1, inigbalhin sa right side, mahimong positive 1. Therefore, the roots are negative 5 and positive 1. Another way of solving, na pinakadali. Same example, the square of x plus 2 equal to 9. We can make use of the square property. Ikabaw man ta nga, ang exponent nga 2 sa base x plus 2, pwede siya matangtang ang ma-eliminate ang exponent nga 2 by putting square root symbol. Diba? Kaya sa square root, ang pinakagamay nga index is 2. Muna makita nimo ang na 2 nga gamay nga 2 gawas radical symbol. Then, ang sulod sa radical symbol kay ang expression nga square of x plus 2. So, makancel na exponent nga 2 ug ang index nga 2. Muna mo gawas sa ubos, x plus 2 na lang. Wala na ang radical symbol, wala na ang parenthesis. Then also, the square root of 9, kaya bautang ang 9 is a perfect square. So, what is the square root of 9? That is positive negative 3. So, therefore, the equation will be x plus 2 equals positive negative 3. Dapat isuwat yun ang plus minus nga sign because the square root of a number has two sign, both positive and negative. Unsa ka gamit ang plus o minus nga sign to finalize the roots of the quadratic equation? Remember, nga on the left side, napay x plus 2. So, kanang plus 2, i-combine na siya dito sa right side. Dapat ang bilhin sa left side, variable x na lang. Muna nitabo, ang positive 2, pagbalhin niya sa right side, himo siyang negative 2 dayon. Change sign, no? Change operation. Therefore, x is equal to negative 2. Ang number nga gibalhin sa right side, pwede siya ang unang isuwat or pwede po siya after na sa 3. Pero mas better siguro kung unsa to ibalhin mo siya unang isuwat. Muna akong gisuwat dinhi, x is equal to negative 2 gidayon plus minus 3. So since there is an in-between operation nga duha ka pagbuok plus ang usa minus. So ang first root x sub 1 shall be using plus sign. Ang x sub 2 gamiton ang minus 3. So x sub 1 is equal to negative 2 plus 3 is equal to 1. While x sub 2 is negative 2 minus 3. Nga, puro na negative. Double negative sign, no? Negative 2, negative 3 is equal to negative 5. Diba they have the same solution? The same roots? Positive 1 and negative 5. So, depende ra gina. So, not necessarily gyud nga ang gamiton is factoring method. Pwede po square root property. Second example, the square of x plus 2 plus the square of x plus 3 equal to 4. So to go further, duha ka x plus 2 plus duha ka x plus 3, they are separated by parentheses, no? Okay, kuan man. Exponent means we multiply the base twice itself. Munang duha ka x plus 2 plus duha ka x plus 3 equal to 4. Then proceed to FOIL method. Kaduha ta mag-FOIL method kay i-multiply man na ang duha ka x plus 2, i-multiply pud ang duha ka x plus 3. So ang result, duha ka trinomial. Mo nang gibutang sa nako og duha ka parentheses para ma-define nato nga kana sila lain-lain na sila nga solution. So FOIL method, x times x, x squared, x times 2, 2x, 2 times x, 2x, 2 times 2, 4. Or the rewritten equation is x squared plus 4x plus 4 parentheses, then in between sign plus. Ang kaduhang parentheses kay ang result sa pag-multiply sa duha ka x plus 3. So x times x, x squared. Nya kay ba mo ta nga duha na ka 3x, no? So mahimo siyang 6x, then 3 times 3 is 9 parentheses close equals 4. Unya, since ang in-between nga sign sa duha ka parentheses sa duha ka trinomial kay plus man, so pwede siya ma-combine ang tanan. So x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 4x plus 6x, 10x. 4 plus 9 is 13. Diin gikan ang minus 4. Gikan sa right side sa equation nga equals 4. Inigbalhin na niya to the left side, it becomes minus 4. So what remains on the right side is equal to 0 na. Then, i-combine po ang 13 o negative 4. So, ang pag-revise sa equation is 2x squared plus 10x plus 9 equal to 0. Nga 9? Kay 13 minus 4 is 9. So, that is our revised equation kanang gi-highlight og yellow. So from that, we will choose a comfortable method of solving for the roots. So ang method nga akong gamit diri is quadratic formula. Kaya mo may pinaka mo fit gid niya kay mag-factoring method ta basin madugayan mo ba. So using quadratic formula, we will identify first the value of a, b, and c. A here is 2, b is 10, while c is it should be 9, dili 13 ha. Nasayo pa na. So the quadratic formula is given that x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over twice a. Then substitute the value of a, b, and c. Again, c there is 9, dili na 13. Sayo pra ko. So, in substitution, manitabo na, x equals negative 10. Ang kanang negative nga sign tapad sa b is constant. So, if ever ang value sa b is negative, nya na negative sign nga daan sa gawas, so inigre-write na niya, mahimo na siyang positive 10. But since our value of b is positive 10, mo nang negative 10 siya. Plus minus square root of, pero value sa b is 10, mo nang 10 square. Minus 4 times the value of a, which is 2, and the value of c, which is 9. Dili 13 ha, nasayo pa na. Over the denominator 2 times the value of a, which is 2. So, to simplify further, x equals negative 10 plus minus the square root of 10 squared is 10 times 10, manang 100. Nya, minus, kapihan ng minus. 4 times 2 is 8. Continuous multiplication, no? 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 9, 72. Manang minus 72. Over denominator 2 times 2, which is 4. To simplify further, x equals negative 10 plus minus 100 minus 72 is 28 over 4. Ang question, 28 is a discriminant, no? Sa previous nga discussion, 28 is not perfect square. But 28 as not perfect square can be factored out nga na ay perfect square. So, ang factors di ay, if the discriminant is not perfect square, it should be factored out because it is part of the process of simplifying radicals. So the factors of 28 is, I guess, usara. 4 times 7. Marag no other factors on 28. 4 times 7. So nahitabo na niya, ang iyahang behind solution na niya is negative 10 plus minus the square root of 4 times 7. So, duha ang factors, 4 o 7. Wherein ang 4 is a perfect square, 7 is not. So, ang square sa 4 kay 2. Muna na 2 sa gawas. Nya, ang nahabilin kay sa sud's radical symbol kay ang 7. Kay 7 is considered irrational man. Then, copy denominator nga 4. If ganahan pa dyan ka nga is ipasimplify pag yun na siya, sir. Nganong negative 5 plus minus square root of 7 over 2 na siya. Yun sa siya pag-simplify, sir. Kabantay mo, ang mga numbers nga gawas radical symbol, kanang negative 10, ang 2, o ang denominator nga 4, nas like common nga factor, which is 2. Ang yan divisibility is 2. So, pila day ka 2 sa negative 10? Negative 5. Pila day ka 2 sa 2? 1. So, imaginary 1 na siya. Gawa sa square root of 7. Pwede ka masuot og 1 square root of 7 or understood na siya nga square root of 7. Napasabot, ang number gawa sa square root of 7 is imaginary 1. Then, ang denominator nga 4, pila day ka 2 sa 4? It is 2. Muna, ang final answer is highlighted as yellow. X equals negative 5 plus minus square root of 7 over 2. That is the general root. Pero kung mingon ka nga, sir, duha ka buk roots, x sub 1, x sub 2. Yes. Ang x sub 1 is using plus. Ang x sub 2 using minus. Di na plus o minus, sir. Kanang sign nga nagpatunga sa negative 5 o square root of 7. So, therefore, ang x sub 1 is equal to negative 5 plus square root of 7 over 2. Ang x sub 2, negative 5 minus square root of 7 over 2. Wala na ako gisuwat, pero understood ba na siya? Nga duha ang root. Okay pa? Nakapaminaw pa? Nakasubay pa? Dili ra kotas? Okay. Let's proceed with our third example. The square of x minus 4 plus the square of x plus 2 equal 8. Equal to 8. So again, the square of x minus 4, duha ka x minus 4 plus duha ka x plus 2 equals 8. Then, mao gihapon, FOIL method. Kaduha ta mag-FOIL method. X minus 4, x minus 4, o x plus 2, o x plus 2. Distributive property of multiplication over addition. So, unsay result sa duha ka x minus 4 in FOIL method? That is, x squared minus 8x plus 16. Nganong negative 8 minus 8x? Kay negative 4 plus negative 4, negative 8. Sum. Negative 4 times negative 4, positive 16. Product. Then, parentheses. Plus, open parentheses. Ang product sa pag-multiply sa 2 ka x plus 2 kay x squared plus 4x plus 4. Then close parentheses. Di nagi ka ng 4x. 2 plus 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. Then equals 8. So, since ang ilahang in-between operation is plus man, sa 2 ka trinomial, di ba? X squared minus 8x plus 16 plus trinomial x squared plus 4x plus 4. So, we combine ang parihang first term, parehang second term ug ang constant third term equals 8. So, 2x squared is 2x squared. Negative 8x plus 4x, negative 4x. 16 plus 4, 20. Then, ang positive 8, inigbalin sa left side, minus 8, equal to 0. So, ang pag-rewrite, 2x squared minus 4x. 20 minus 8 is 12. Positive 12, equal to 0. So, again, I use here quadratic formula. So, identify A, which is 2, B, negative 4, atong C kay positive 12. So, atong B din ito bantayan, negative ang value sa B. So, magbantay ta sa equation. The given quadratic formula is x equals negative B plus minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. So, substitution, x equals, kabantay mo, ang negative nga sign na negative sign sa gawas. Nagibutang din og parentheses. Labi na kung ang value sa B kay negative, no? Ang value sa B kay negative 4 man, muna na negative 4 sud sa parentheses. Yan ay negative sign sa gawas, pasabot kanang negative sign sa gawas i-multiply sa negative sa sulod. Mahimo na positive later. Then plus minus the square root of gi-parentheses gihapon kay ma-misunderstood man na kung walay parentheses. Yan na exponent sa ibabaw sa number, di ba? Dapat magbutang og parentheses nagpasabot nga ang negative 4 i-multiply sa iyang kaugalingon. Then minus 4 times the value of A, which is 2, the value of C 12 over denominator 2 times the value of A, which is 2. So to simplify further, x equals negative times negative 4 is positive 4 na siya. Kung positive, ay nabutang hipod og plus kay basi maaana siya ng operation. Understood, kung ang number is positive, you need not to write plus. But if the number is negative, you need to put negative sign. Since it is positive, pwede rin suot 4 plus minus dayon. Square root of negative, the square of negative 4 sa sulod. Pila man na? Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Then copy minus nga sign. Then multiply ang 4 times 2 times 12. Continuous multiplication. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 12, 96. Nga, minus 96 over 4. O, imagine na ha. Ang 16 ay minus sa 96. Kaya bago ang gamay, minus sa dako, negative gina-answer. So, the result will be x equals 4 plus minus the square root of negative 80 over 4. And once the discriminant is negative, kaya bago sa previous module number 2, when the discriminant is negative, ang solution is mahunong gyudayon. Why? The roots are imaginary. Walay tarong nga solution. Since the value of the discriminant is negative 80, then there are no roots. Meaning roots are said to be imaginary. Okay? Nasabtan. So for the next activity, second activity, found on page 10. What's more? This is activity 3.2. Transform and find the roots of each equations. Write your complete solution on the paper. Dili activity notebook ha, paper. So we have 4 equations but only you will answer 2 and 4. Kanarang gi highlightan mo yan siran. Dili tanan ha, duhara yan siran. Okay, we are now into our last lesson. Lesson number 3, solving equations involving rational algebraic equations or expressions, sorry. So we will try to recall how do we solve for the value of x in these 2 examples. Nani siya sa grade 8, grade 7 ba? First example, x over 2 plus 2 over x equal to 3. The second example, x over 2 plus 2 over 3 equal to 4. So, how are we going to add the expression on the left side of the equation? Then, if we were able to combine the 2 fractional expressions, how are we going to solve for the value of the missing variable x? That's a question that we need to answer. So, do you know that some forms of rational algebraic expressions are transformable also into quadratic equations? What process are we going to undergo in order to rewrite it into a quadratic equation? Just try to a few examples below and decide which of them can be considered quadratic. So example number 1 kato ganina. The given is x over 2 plus 2 over x equal to 3. That is the given rational algebraic equation. So we put parentheses y para makombine ang naa sa left side nga duha ka fraction. Mahog ni siya no nga dissimilar fraction. Why dissimilar fraction? Kaya lain-lain sa denominator. Ang first fraction iyang denominator kay 2. Ang second fraction iyang denominator kay x. Lain-lain sila. So, considering ang lain-lain sa denominator, so therefore, to get the common denominator, so silang duhang gamiton. Muna na green nga 2x on left side and right side niya. Naay nakabutang parentheses. That means, muna ito i-multiply sa equation. So get the least common denominator or the common factor of the two denominators, which is 2x. So gimultiply no ang kanang 2x ngadto sa numerator. So 2x times x, 2x squared. Copy denominator nga 2. Then plus 2x times 2, 4x. Copy denominator nga x. Equals 2x times 3, 6x. Kita mo sa green. Multiply the least common denominator on both sides of the equation. Numerator only. Muna bantayin na ang green ha. So to rewrite, kay ba mo ta nga ang nasa left side na ay mga denominator no? Duha ka denominator. Nga makancel man na ang 2 ug 2 sa first fraction nabilin x squared. Then sa kaduhang fraction makancel ang duha ka x up and down. Muna na bring ang nabilin plus 4 equals 6x. Copy na lang. Reduce the equation to lowest term. Next, rearrange the terms to obtain a standard form of the quadratic equation. So, in a rewrite, may mo siyang x squared minus 6x. Nga na minus 6x ay positive 6x sa right side. Inagbalhin na mahimong minus 6x. Then copy constant 4 plus 4 equal to 0. So, the first given rational algebraic expression can be rewritten into a quadratic equation x squared minus 6x plus 4 equal to 0. How about the second example? Okay, nasabtan. Dili pa ni mao atong kuan ha discussion ha. Recall ra ni siya. Second example. The expression or the equation given is x over 2 plus 2 over 3 equals to 4. That is the given rational algebraic equation. So again, we put parentheses to the whole equation. Ang nasus parentheses kay x over 2 plus 2 over 3 equal to 4. Nganong dunay 6? 6 represents the least common denominator or the common factor of the two denominators. So ang 6 makadivide sa 2, ang 6 makadivide sa 3. So next, we multiply the least common denominator 6 on both sides of the equation. Again, sa numerator ra gina siya i-multiply. 6 times x, 6x. Copy denominator nga 2. Plus 6 times 2, 12. Over denominator nga 3. Equal 6 times 4, 24. So bantayiha ang green, puro ra numerator. So next, pwede kaya po na ito ma-divide ang first fraction. Iyang mga number. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Tapad niya x plus 12 divided by 3, 4 equals 24. Bring down. Reduce the equation to lowest term. Next, combine all constant. Asa may constant ana? Ang 4 og 24. So copy 3x, bring down positive 4. Then ang 24 nga positive on the right side of the equation, once transferred to the left side, it becomes minus 24. Equal to 0. Again, change sign ha. If so happen nga ang 24, negative na siya sa right side, inigbalhin na niya plus 24. But since 24 is positive on the right side, inigbalhin na niya minus 24. So, i-combine ang duha ka constant. So, mahitabo, 3x minus 20 equal to 0. Kay 4 minus 24, negative 20. And since the equation does not contain the second degree exponent, then this is considered linear equation. Ang example number 2. Okay, gets? Gets. So, based on the samples we have solved, we can say that the first example was transformed into quadratic equation, while the second example was a linear equation. Okay? Nasabtan. Okay. So what is it? Let us study the following examples on how these rational algebraic equations are being transformed into quadratic equations and solve its roots. Number 1. Muna yung first example na gyud. The first given equation is 4 over x plus x over 2 equal to 3. That is the given. Next, kung gamiton to ang same nga pamaagi sa kaning first example dapat. So, to get the least common denominator of the two denominators, since ang duha ka denominators sa duha ka fraction on the left side are x and 2, therefore ang iyang LCD 2x. Isuwat left and right. Yan ang nakasuwat sa green. Then, multiply the least common denominator on both sides of the equation. Again, sa numerator ragyud. 2x times 4 is 8x, copy denominator x, plus 2x times x, 2x squared, copy denominator 2, equals 2x times 3, 6x. Then, atong i-reduce ang equation to lowest term. 8x divided by x, cancel ang x, nabilin 8. Plus, 2x squared divided by 2, makancel ang 2, nabilin x squared. Bring down x equals, bring down 6x. Then rearrange the terms to obtain a standard form of the quadratic equation. Since ang x squared is found already on the left side niya, positive good siya. So, i-arrange na lang. Mag-una ang x squared, since positive nun siya daan, so, understood nga, x squared na siya. Then, ang 6x nasa right side sa equation. Inigbalik sa left side, may mong minus 6x, negative na. Then, ang 8 is already on the left side, which is positive, mo nang rewrite plus 8, equal to 0. So, trinomial na, no? Nagsunod na ang first term, second term, third term. Then, we can use factoring method to solve for the roots using sum and product. The sum is negative 6, the product is 8. So what are the factors of 8? 4 times 4, 4 times 4. 4 times 2, sorry, pasaylo 4 times 2 and 8 times 1. So dili pwede ba magamit ang factors nga 8 ug 1. Kaya dili man makuha ang 6. Pwede ra magamit ang 4 ug 2. Positive 8, pwede siya plus plus, but remember ang ato ang middle term kay sum negative 6x man ni. So dito pwede magamit og plus 4 plus 2. Kung dili, minus 4 minus 2 para makuha ang negative 6. Okay, nasabtan ra ba? So the binomials are x minus 4 and x minus 2 equal to 0. Why? Negative 4 times negative 2, positive 8. Negative 4 times plus negative 2, negative 6x. Mo na siya ang sum. So, sa zero product property, each binomial is equal to 0. X minus 4 equal to 0 and x minus 2 equal to 0. Then, to solve for the two values of x, understood na nga x equal to 4 and x equals to positive 2. Okay, change sign man inigbalik sa right side. So, these are the roots of the quadratic equation. X equals positive 4 and x equals positive 2. Second example. The equation given is x minus 4 over 3 plus 2 over x minus 2 equal to negative 5. Next, we will get the least common denominator of the two fractions on the left side. And the LCD or the least common denominator is 3 and x minus 2. So silang duha gamiton, monomial 3 o binomial x minus 2. Then multiply the least common denominator to both sides of the equation. So, muna nakasuwat sa green. Kabantay mo. Actually, sa first example, ang given equation, gibutan ako parentheses, niya ang gi-multiply na sa isigkilid ra. Pero kani, pwede gyapon na siya inanion, gyapon siya para mas dool siya sa pagsabot. Kaya basin niya mga lipong ba. So, pwede gyapon niya niyang pagsuwat. Nga ang LCD is 3 o x minus 2, i-multiply sa first fraction. x minus 4 over 3 plus ang LCD gyapon nga 3 og x minus 2 i-multiply sa kaduhang fraction nga 2 over x minus 2 equals negative 5. Multiply gyapon siya og 3 og x minus 2. Cancel out similar terms before multiplying them. So, asa may mga similar ko, no? Dara. Ang kanang nakasuwat nga green nga 3 o x minus 2, that is considered na sa numerator. Ibabaw na siya. So, pwede siya makancel sa mga denominator nga naasod sa white parentheses. Like, ang 3, pwede makancel. Ang x minus 2, sa kaduhang fraction pwede makancel. So, how are we going to cancel out these similar terms before multiplying them? So, ang pwede makancel, ang kanang duha ka 3 nga yellow, ug ang duha ka x minus 2 nga naka-yellow. So, multiply the remaining terms and copy the right side. So, ato i-multiply. Ang may nabilin sa left side, primerong fraction. Na-cancel naman duha ka 3. Nabilin x minus 2 o x minus 4. Wala na yung denominator. Then plus 3. Ang duha ka x minus 2 na-cancel na. Ang nabilin, 3 times 2 na lang equals, kopyahon ang nasa right side. But before copying, pwede mo siya i-multiply daan. Negative 5 times 3, negative 15. Then copy x minus 2. Ana. Then, ang duha ka binomial ng x minus 2, x minus 4, that is FOIL method. The result is x squared minus 4x minus 2x plus 8. Kay, again, x times x, x squared. X times negative 4, negative 4x. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4, positive 8. Muna, so sa parentheses. Then, plus 3 times 2, 6. Bring down equals, bring down negative 15 times binomial x minus 2, distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Negative 15 times x, negative 15x. Negative 15 times negative 2, positive 30. Muna plus 30. Next, combine like terms and write in standard form. So, what happened? Copy x squared. Negative 4x, negative 2x, double negative, so negative 6x. 8 plus 6 is 14. Sakto? Then, ang expression nga negative 15x plus 30 from the right side of the equation, once i-balance sa left side, ang negative 15x mahimong plus 15x. Ang positive 30, i-balance sa left side, mahimong minus 30 equal to 0. Then, simplify the equation. That will become x squared negative 6x o positive 15x. 15x minus 6x is 9x. Then, for positive 14 minus 30, okay, duha ka constant. Ganina gi-add ang duha ka second term, ang negative 6x o positive 15x, mahimo siya 9x, positive. Then, doon na may duha ka constant, positive 14 o minus 30. That is negative 16. Equal to 0. So that is the rewritten quadratic equation. X squared plus 9x minus 16 equal to 0. So dili pa diyan na human ang solution. We will look for a method to solve for the roots. So how are we going to solve for the roots? Choose a method to solve for the roots of the quadratic equation. And we can make use of quadratic formula. Para nako diri kani nga example na gamit og quadratic formula para dali ra kay nagdili mo siya factorable nga equation good. So using quadratic formula, identify A which is 1, B positive 9, C negative 16. Then substitute to the quadratic formula, x equals negative B. Ang B is positive 9, so negative 9 na siya. Plus minus the square root of B squared, 9 squared. Minus 4 times A is 1, times C negative 16. Over twice A, 2 times A is 2 times 1. Then, x equals, copy negative 9 plus minus the square root of 9. 9 times 9, 81. Nganong plus 64? Diba, duha na ka sign, negative sign nga so sa radical symbol. That means multiplication man na. So negative times negative, positive. So munang plus. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 16, 64. Munang plus 64. Over 2 times 1 which is 2. Again, if ang value sa C kay negative, automatic ang operation nga nasud sa radical symbol should be plus. But if ang value sa C kay nag-contain og positive nga operation, positive sign, ang operation sud sa radical symbol should be minus. Then we will combine the numbers found inside the radical symbol. So that will become x equals negative 9 plus minus square root of 145. Kay 81 plus 64 is 145 over 2. Since 145 is not perfect square and it has no factors that has a perfect square, then it shall not be factored out. Hindi siya pwede mabungkag. Kaya nga naman, ang pinakadoon nga perfect square is 144. Is the nearest perfect square whose root is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So, half shot try labaw, 145. So, understood nga 145 as a discriminant is already considered not perfect square. At the same time, di siya factorable, so di siya pwede mabungkag. Therefore, the roots are buwag, 9 plus, 9 minus. X sub 1 is negative 9 plus square root of 145 over 2. X sub 2 is negative 9 minus 140 minus the square root of 145 over 2. Okay? Third example. I guess this will be the last, siguro. The given equation is x plus 2 over x minus 4 minus the fraction x minus 3 over x plus 3 equal to 1. Given equation. Get the LCD. And the LCD is, ang yan doon ka denominator ng x minus 4 o x plus 3. Multiply the LCD to both sides of the equation. So, muna kong gibuhat Japon. From number 2 ng example, i-distribute na akong LCD sa duha ka fraction o sa right side ng 1. So, x minus 4, x plus 3, muna ang naka-green, ang LCD na, i-multiply sa first fraction. X plus 2 over x minus 4 nga nakarakbutang parentheses. Minus, kay minus man yung operation. Then, gikapin na po na ako ang duha ka LCD. Then, times x minus 3 over x plus 3 equal to 1 times sa LCD, duha ka buok. Cancel out similar terms before multiplying them. So, unsa pwede makancel sa mayroong fraction? Ang nakabutang og yellow. Duha ka x minus 4. Sa kaduhang fraction, pwede makancel duha ka x plus 3 equals 1 times sa LCD nga x minus 4, x plus 3. So, kanang mga naka-yellow, pwede na sa matangtang, no? Cancel out. So, multiply the remaining terms of both sides. So, nabilin kay x plus 3 times x plus 2 minus x minus 4 times x minus 3 equals, kay since ang 1 naman siya, pwede na siya wala. Ikopya na lang na ako, wa may mausab. Kung i-multiply nimo ang 1 sa duha ka binomial sa ang mahitabo, kopyahon nimo ang duha ka binomial nga x minus 4 o x plus 3. Then continue. Mag-FOIL method ta kaduha. X plus 3 times x plus 2. FOIL method ana x times x, x square. X times 2, 2x. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 2 is 6 minus. Mag-FOIL method ta sa duha ka binomials nga x minus 4 o x minus 3. So, sa result sa kaduhang trinomial. X times x, x square. X times negative 3, negative 3x. Negative 4 times x, negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 3, positive 12. Then, equals. So, kita mo sa left side, nakaseparate good siya og duha ka parentheses ang product sa pag-multiply using FOIL method. Nya, knowing nga ang in-between yung operation is minus. So, importante kay nga naa parentheses. Labi na kung ang operation kay minus. Then, the result of multiplying the two binomials on the right side of the equation, x minus 4 times x plus 3 is equal to x times x, x square, x times 3, 3x, negative 4 times x, negative 4x, negative 4 times 3, negative 12. Okay, gisimplify pa gyud ang polynomial, ang first polynomial nga nakasulod sa parentheses. That become, nagya pa yung parentheses ha, x square, 2x plus 3x is 5x, copy plus 6, close parentheses, minus, open parentheses, copy x square, negative 3x, negative 4x, double negative. So, add the numbers, copy the sign, munang minus 7x, then copy plus 12, close parentheses, equals, bring down x square, 3x minus 4x i-combine, 3 minus 4, negative 1, so negative 1x or negative x, bring down minus 12. Next is how do we remove the parentheses of the trinomials. Kabantay mo, nagya po ang parentheses sa duha ka trinomials. So what will happen? To remove the parentheses of each trinomial means that you will distribute the negative sign sa ikaduhang trinomial nga x squared minus 7x plus 12. So what will happen? So katong first trinomial, tangtang na ang parentheses, no? Is giri-write ang x squared plus 5x plus 6. Wala na yung parentheses. Then ang negative nga sign, katong in-between operation ba? Di ba minus man? So ang minus nga operation, gidistribute siya sa trinomial nga x squared minus 7x plus 12. So nahitabo, negative times x squared, negative x squared. Negative times negative 7x, mo ng positive 7x. Negative sign or minus nga sign times 12 is negative 12. Copy equals copy x squared minus x minus 12, ang katong nasa right side. Next is to combine all like terms on the left side of the equation. So ang kanang x squared minus x minus 12 nga nasa right side of the equation, ipamalhin na sa left side. Ma-change na siya sign. First, so copy x squared. Ang katong x squared nga nasa right side sa equation, after sa equal nga symbol, naigbalhin na niya, mahimong minus x squared. Ato ang i-arrange daan. Sunod, 5x, copy plus 5x, copy plus 7x, then wala pa di gibalhin ang nasa right side, ay sorry. Ang akong gi-arrange lang sa ang tanang terms nga nasa left side equation. Sorry. So, ang duha ka x squared nagtapad, x squared minus x squared, copy plus 5x, copy plus 7x, copy plus 6, then minus 12. Gi-arrange na nako. Gi-rearrange equals kopyahon ang nasa right side x squared minus x minus 12. Sorry. So, x squared minus x squared, wala na, cancel. So, nabilin, 5x plus 7x, manang 12x. 6 minus 12 is negative 6, manang minus 6, equals. Copy x squared minus x minus 12. Since x squared is already positive on the right side of the equation, we will transfer ang naa sa left side padung sa right side. To the right side to equate it to 0. So nahitabo ang 12x minus 6 mobalhin sa right side. So ang mabilin sa left side 0 equals x squared, copy. Then copy minus x. Then ang positive 12x sa left side inibalhin minus 12x. Then copy minus 12 nga first constant. Then ang katong negative 6 sa left side inibalhin positive 6 ng plus 6. So ang pag-revise equation would become 0 equals x squared, copy x squared. Nagsunod man ang negative x o negative 12x. Understood nga ang negative x, ang iyang numerical coefficient is negative 1. Nga, double negative ba na? Negative 1x o negative 12x is negative 13x. Then negative 12 plus 6, ang duha ka constant, pila ang negative 12 plus 6? Kasi mas dako, negative 12 ang 6. Mas dako, negative 12. So, kung ang siyag 6, napay negative 6. So, the equation would become 0 equals x squared minus 13x minus 6. Or pwede gapon na siya sabdon, x squared minus 13x minus 6 equal to 0. Same ra. Then choose a method to solve for the roots of the quadratic equation. What method are we going to use? We will use quadratic formula. Magyapon, identify A, B, and C. Wherein the equation is x squared minus 13x minus 6 equal to 0. So, magyapon ang equation. A is 1, B is negative 13, C is negative 6. Substitution, x equals negative sign sa gawas niya ang B kay negative 13 plus minus the square root of parenthesis gihapon kay ang B is negative man, so negative in close parenthesis negative 13 nga square minus 4 times 1 which times 1 kay value sa A times C negative 6 over 2 times 1. X equals negative times negative 13 is positive 13 plus minus the square root of negative 13 nagpasabot negative 13 times negative 13 is positive 169. Na 169 is a perfect square. Nya dinhi atong again atong C kay negative 6 man. Nya na may minus nga sign before sa 4. So duha ka negative times negative is positive munang plus after sa 169. So multiply 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 6 24. Munang 169 plus 24 over 2 times 1 which is 2. Denominator. To simplify, x equals copy 13 plus minus the square root of 169 plus 24 is 193 over denominator ng 2. Since 193 is not perfect square and it has no factors that has a perfect square, then it shall not be factored out. Why? 196 is the nearest perfect square whose root is 13. Okay, 13 times 13 is 196. I guess? Yeah. So therefore, ang 193 is considered irrational. Then the roots are x sub 1 is equal to 13 plus square root of 193 over 2 and x sub 2. What lang yung x sub 1, x sub 2 dapat na ha. X sub 1 ya x sub 2. X sub 2 is 13 minus square root of 193 over 2. So that will be our roots for this third example. For the third activity on page 15, what's more? Transform the following rational algebraic equations and find the roots of each equation. Write your complete solution on the piece of paper. Answer only. Number 2 and number 4. So duha ray ansiran gyapon same sa activity number 3.2. Kani activity 3.3. And for the assessment, post-test on page 16 to 17, answer with complete solutions on the following items. Test A, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Test B, 10, 12, and 14. So, dili din siya yung letter only ha, lagi solution. Kaya dili man tanang pansiran. Okay? I guess that would be all for this day. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, nasabtan ra. If nagikalipgan, pwede ra i-PM kunin niyo. Once again, good morning and thank you very much. So, he who fails to plan, plans to fail. No pain, no gain. No guts, no glory. Patience is a virtue. Therefore, keep going on till you reach the end line. Thank you.